Morning, morning, everybody. Michelle is here on this January 24th, 2024. What? And I think it's a Wednesday, right? Yes, January 24th, 2024 on a Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing fantastic, magnificently, and marvelous because I am. I'll keep my glasses nearby because I'm not sure if I want it. I have some things I wanted to discuss that's been on my mind for a while, but I'm still kind of I'm attempting to understand the process of it and what's the significance of it. And it's called entropy. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing it right. And there's something significant about it because it just keeps popping up in my head. And let's get the definition. Why don't you? Let's see here. What do I pull up? Hope this glare. I'll fix the glare in a minute. Yeah, I'll fix it in a minute. It's let's see how it's pronounced. Okay, the sound is off. So it's a scientific concept that's most commonly associated with a state of disorder, randomness, and or uncertainty. Okay, so it's caught my attention for some reason. I'm gonna find out why, and anybody else that's listening, if you want to kind of put it out there, so to speak, and let me know how it relates to our current events and our certain situations. I'm gonna look up some paperwork. I had some paperwork because I got introduced to entropy, I think over 20 years ago, and there's always a literal, figuratively, metaphorically, symbolic meaning to everything, and that's how you have to look at words because of all of that energy associated with words. Words is sounds and tones. Okay, so anytime you're attempting to learn something, it's always better to always apply those type of concepts to learning, and that way you'll make sure you're getting the complete picture, the complete the completeness of a word. Because like I said, words are sounds and tones, and you want to make sure you're getting the completeness of what you're attempting to explain to people or what you're attempting to understand. That's what's important. And if you use all of those concepts like I've given you, your sensing, put some abstract in there, subjective, some objective, like I said, all of your sensing, you know that you're grounded in reality. You know that you're not delusional, right? You know how to determine whether you're delusional or not. And if you need to go outside and touch a tree or touch some flowers, that's how you know. I put my coffee out. Hopefully, I don't let this get cold because, oh boy, I'm going to go off. No, just joking. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. So, again, as I said with me, I'm constantly in thought motion, thinking, contemplating, cultivating, properly meditating, properly ruminating. And sometimes, like I said, you get some impulse. It's like being struck by, by electricity. Now, I don't want to say be struck by lightning because, people will take that literally. But it's almost like a spark like that. But it doesn't cause damage per se. You get a spark of information. It's like, whoa, where did that word come from? Why did that word pop in my head? So that word had been in my atrophy was been in my mind for a while, as well as entropy. And I sense that there's a correlation there, but I'm still attempting to put it together. as to our state of affairs right now, at this space and time, during these hours, that we are facing each other. Uh, I like earlier, I said, I think it was last week or this week or whatever, when I put a video out, or I was picking up um, melancholy. That there was some sadness coming across, coming across the airway, coming across the sky. That's what energy does. It just, it flows through the atmosphere. And I know the weather was kind of, gloomy. I enjoy it. I enjoyed, because took a walk. I think it was yesterday, and I'm thankful that I'm getting to experience certain changes in temperature, instead of just like when I was on the East Coast, just humid, humid, and then then stuff come in an extreme manner. So I like, my body likes to change, and sometimes I'm telling you, sometimes you got to listen to that kind of thing, instead of, you can go to the doctor, but make sure you have consider other things that may be causing some of your symptoms or whatever. I know a lot of people do get gloomy because the weather does determine that for a lot of people. But you want to get to a point to where it doesn't matter whether it's rain or shine, though. That's the developing to where it doesn't matter whether it's rain or shine, but you do want to get into an atmosphere that feels good to you, that your body supports a little bit better. Because who wants to be sitting around sticky? I can do whatever I can to allow it to happen, because I've lived on the East Coast most of my life, but I feel so thankful that I decided to, okay, let's see where my energy takes me, and and so this is where I am, and I love it. I have no regrets about what I'm doing. I have no regrets about what I'm saying. None of that. My actions and behaviors. Now, are there mistakes? Absolutely. Thankfully, is there things that, like I said with the entropy, I'm gonna go back to some paperwork and stuff that I have on that, but there's something, for some reason, is coming into my attention. So, okay, what is it? What does it relate to? Okay, and then of course, a lot of people are going to come through and say, oh, yeah, I talked about entropy, blah 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 blah. But what's the correlation? We can all talk, and we all are, and I'm thankful for that. I have no issue with people controlling their narrative and sharing their thoughts and opinions. That's what we're supposed to do. But what is your intention and purpose, though? Are you because you want to look big and better? Or are you really genuinely attempting to help and help help a lot of people understand our situation? Because one person cannot do it. That doesn't matter how high their consciousness level is or how low or whatever. One person cannot teach 10 billion people. We all need to help and teach people as best we can, or share information as best we can, or share knowledge as best we can. But we also know at some points we do have to provide for ourselves. So that means we may create some type of services that we can offer people, and they can pay us a reasonable, fair fee for, blah, blah, blah. That's a no-brainer, duh. But we're up against so many factors, and that's why I say be gentle and kind, that causes us to not even know what's real and what's not, because of what's coming out of these hierarchical thinkers, these hierarchical structures, and their whole intentions is to dominate, and subjugate, have you submissive and subservient, and and unfortunately that's where we are. Okay, the monster was created and ready to go by the 80s. Okay, the monster was created. But there are some of us that know that there's ways to neutralize that and still live a fantastic life, to live a fulfilling life. Okay, I feel fulfilled. Okay, I feel fantastic, whether that word is being overused or not. Okay, I'd rather feel fantastic than tired. You answered that question, right? Either way, we just have to know what our intentions are, what our purpose are. If you are overwhelmed, admit you're overwhelmed and go sit your ass down somewhere. One person can't do it. Okay, so if you attempt to do so and be the only representative, the only one that knows how to express certain things, then you're going to get yourself overwhelmed. Okay, we're all individual. We all know, some of us ought to know what our responsibilities are, what our tasks are, what our mission, whatever our assignments, whatever we're calling it now. Okay, we've had enough experiences based on our past lineages to know where we are, okay, and the danger that's posed to all of us. Okay, yes, there are some of us that, like I said in the somewhere, I don't know, I say so much everywhere. There are some of us that are of like-mindedness, and we've been like-mindedness for decades, for hundreds of years, thousands of years, maybe millions of years. We've been like-minded. We've been a part of a group mentality, so to speak. That's the intentions are to help. Okay, we do not usually like to stand out and be seen per se, because like I said with me in the beginning of my videos, I'm a behind the scenes person. No one that knows me will tell you that I seek to be in the spotlight. Okay, because if that's the case, okay, most of the people that know me know that I know how to operate without being, say for example, employee of the year, okay, worker of the year, this or that of the year, that I, when I had my former job, I wasn't pushing myself forward. I would push others forward. I know how to do that as well. I know what someone's capable of doing and what they are capable of not. Okay? In other words, I don't have to be in a leadership position. I know how to share responsibilities. Okay? I don't need people, worshiping me and, kissing my feet, or, what's that term they used to call brown nosing? Oh my God, I can't, my former career and as a first responder, you got a lot of that bowing down puppy like type of mentality of people, where they will I mean, they're all in your ass. And some people like that because they know they can get stuff done. Sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissistics love that type of personality that will be in their ass constantly, and probably will wipe their ass for them, since usually the narcissistic, cholerics, psychopath do not know how to wipe their ass properly anyway. So they love to have somebody else do it for them. So anyway, yeah, so I'm paying attention to what's going on. And it appears like deja vu to me. We're gonna do 2016 over again, and we're gonna think clearly and effectively this time, right? Well, actions and behaviors speak. I pay attention to behaviors and actions. I can care less what people think about me based on my views about certain things, especially politics. Okay, it's nothing but a circus, and we're placing our lives on politics. Okay, but I know that there's some that are in politics, and you know who you are, all over the world, all over the stars, moon, and mountains, in every state, country. You know that you're in certain type of fields, and you know what you need to do, and no one has to tell you. Sometimes, like I said, you got to roll in the dirt. Sometimes you got to roll in the shit, because we're all stepping in it anyway. Sometimes you may have to involve yourself in things that are messy, okay? But at the same time, you know what your intentions and purpose are. And sometimes you just got to get it done, and no one has to know. That's the best part of it. No one has to know. And you know how to. You're skilled in your abilities to speak in a way that you're not attempting to indoctrinate people. You're not attempting to manipulate them, deceive them. You just know that sometimes, just like any like a mother, sometimes a mother knows well, in most cases, the mother knows exactly what to do for their children, but their children may be resistant to that. But the mother, like my mother, she kept it going. The mother does know best. The father knows best as well. If he's, you know, if both of them are as best they can, doing the best they can, being righteous, treating people nice and kind based on blah, 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 so again, sometimes, the motherness or the mothering of certain people have to come through and get things done. And sometimes your kids don't even know you've done it. Like, giving them a nice, clean sheets on the bed. I used to love that, when my mom finished, because my mom was, she was up on her chores because that's what she stayed home to do. And it was always nice to get into a clean bed. Have food, smell the bacon in the air, smell the food going, have the music playing in the background. I mean, those are the moments that I cherish, and it keeps me going. Because, again, sometimes, you have to just get things done. Whether people see it, hear it, sense and receive it. Okay? Get it done. There's going to be resistance forever. There's always a resistance. And that's where I think entropy is coming in for me. That's why, but I'm gonna research it a little bit more and contemplate, cultivate, just properly meditate, properly ruminate about it. Because, again, we are in some type of unknown territories, okay, because of our lawlessness and our disregard for law and order. There has to be, you cannot live in constant chaos. And I think that's where that's all coming from. Our chaos is pushing towards a threshold that no one has ever been. And we feel as though we have the right to be pushing the envelope without realizing that there are parameters and there is law and order. There is a structural of certainty that has to be considered. And that's why our planet is, in the state that it is. Like I said, with the Constitution, that Constitution has no value. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, and no one's probably read it, probably since the 1700s, fully through. Okay, there's no value there. It's just a circular deja vu of nothing getting resolved, nothing being solved. That's the whole point of it. Even the founders didn't follow the Constitution if you knew their true origins and their true behaviors and actions. Okay, we have someone saying that right now, that they didn't necessarily pledge to support the Constitution, and that's honest. Okay, that's honest, actually. Instead of having people rambling all over television, all over wherever they are, being so supportive of certain things that they have no idea what's in them. Like we had a particular candidate, quoting another high-profile political figure, and he misquoted him. Okay, so he's conjuring up this man's name and misquoted him. So I'm saying it's a circus. We're living in a circus. And no one wants to accept that we are in deja vu again. What's changed since 2016? I mean, I know the war is ramping up. That's what I mean. There's a lot of unnatural force of things that's continually to ramp up and cause massive disorder and chaos. So we're all going to have to decide, if you choose to. Everything's free will. And let me also say this again, don't forget about it. Don't forget about free will. If you don't like what someone says, if you disagree, or whether you agree with someone, okay, make sure you understand why you agree and why you disagree. I told you, when I'm on a social media platform, if someone's putting out posts that sounds logical, rational, and reasonable to me, chances are I'm going to like it. It doesn't mean that that person that put it out is logical, rational, and reasonable. By the way, make sure you understand the difference. Anybody can throw up beautiful quotes and poems and this and that and the other, but living foul, they're not walking the talk. Okay, they barely have they don't have a pot to piss in. They have nothing as far as results to support what they're saying. I have results. Other people have results. Okay? So remember, you have free will. Do not get caught up in, because a lot of people get a certain something going on in their midsection or their stomach when somebody disagrees with them. They start getting into that fight mode. They're ready to fight you when you disagree with them. Okay? So, again, relax. We're all in this together. Okay? You have free will. You can disagree and agree, or you can swipe. You can move on and go where you are resonating. Go to the sounds and tones that resonate to you. Okay, I know I'm the same way when I see some BS. I know that's lying. I know somebody's lying. I know a lot of people are lying. But what am I supposed to do, really? Honestly, that's for them to deal with. Allow people to speak. Allow people to speak. That way you'll have some evidence, possibly, of what they may have said versus what they have done. And you'll realize all of the massive amount of dangerous contradictions. Okay, some people may, a lot of people know, and that's results, that we don't hold people accountable for nothing. They can drop bombs on Japan. Those 2 bombs dropped on Japan, back in the 40s. Did anyone hold that man accountable for that? But yet, billions of people are suffering in health-wise because of that behavior and actions. Okay? Our ground is saturated with nuclear components. Okay? And it's dangerous, actually, to be living on the ground. But hey, if that's what people want to do, live on the ground. But a lot of people are escaping on the ground. They build these bunkers and these to escape their responsibility or their accountability, or to escape their complicity. Okay, pay attention to the behaviors and actions. Okay, we all are suffering on this planet the results of the behaviors of delving in nuclear weapons and delving in other toxic realities, whatever it could be, literally, figuratively, metaphorically. Okay, so again, remember your free will. Okay, if you don't agree, fantastic. If you disagree, fantastic. It ought to be in a neutral fashion. And if you want to counter. But don't make it personal, though. If someone says something that you don't agree with it, counter it. Can you not be friendly and kind and gentle with people you disagree with? Our behaviors and actions support that. We cannot, but that doesn't mean that all of us have to operate in that in such a manner. If you're developing yourself and genuinely want to be want to becoming always becoming better, becoming ing better, or whatever those terms you're using, make sure you stay in the ing. You know, when you want something to happen, you know, make sure it's an active situation that you wish to contemplate and cultivate and bring to fruition. So remember your free will. You're going to disagree, you're going to agree. Okay, if you want to counter, or swipe and move on. There's millions upon millions, maybe billions of content out there. How anybody can keep up with it is beyond me. I just, every now and then I'll get something will impulse me and get my attention, and I'm like, okay, blah, 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 and then I'll see if I need to take it any further. Do I want to deal with it? You know, I'm constantly making decisions and within a snap of, we're all doing that, making decisions. So, and moving on is one. Breathing is another. Even though, even though your body will react to you if you're not breathing, trust, some of us have had those kind of times where we thought we were choking and it turns out we were not. What was happening is that we stopped ourselves from breathing. So we have our hands into a lot of things. So that happens to us. Our hands are always in it. We caused it. We're doing it. So it's going to get messy. Okay, it's going to get messy from now on. Again, I want to speak to the people that understand what's going on. You know what to do. No one has to tell you. Okay? You know what's going on. Even though you may stay silent about it because you want to protect yourself. And that's logical to me. Some of you are kind of in the background. Fantastic. I'm a background person too. I am just speaking out now in a certain manner because, sometimes it requires that we do kind of come out and say certain things and be creative about it. Be creative. Okay. So you have to, and I know some people know what they're doing. Sometimes we do get a little, off track. I do that all the time in my speaking. But we kind of get unfocused and that's fine. Bring it back. You know what I mean? We know what this is. We know what these times are. We know what we need to do, and no one has to know. Just get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and get my day going. I got chores to do. As a matter of fact, I need to go check on certain things, but I just want to send peace and love to everyone, universal love as well, all over the stars and moon and mountains. It's about universal love at the end of the day, okay? So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and trust me, I'll be back.